morning. It is 6 a.m. on Friday, July 18th, 2025. And a couple of things that was really cool. First of all, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I have a tendency, I don't know if you would call it a tendency, but I have the ability to talk to people who have passed on to the other side. Okay? And that has its ups and downs because sometimes you really don't want to know certain kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So with all this Epstein shit that's in the air, I sat there and I tried to figure out, okay, let's see if I can, make contact, if you will. And it was weird because I did. And the thing that came out most strikingly to me, because I can do it for people who are alive as well, but I'm thinking, motherfucker's still alive. I'm thinking Epstein is still alive, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. And according to the rumor mill of Epstein conspiracy, they say he lives in Madagascar now. So I tweeted, or whatever you call it now because of being on X, I X'd over to Elon saying, look, you're a rich dude. Why don't you go and see? Because apparently, according to the rumor mill, he's living in your neck of the woods in Madagascar. So I don't know if anything will come out of that or if he'll even pay attention to it, but I just found it fascinating, and I wanted somebody who has the financial ability to do some kind of digging into it and stuff. And Candice Owens, oh my God, she still surprises me. It's so damn deep. That's why I think I didn't really pay attention to MAGA. I thought they were going off at the deep end. And I know some MAGAs are saying that liberals were right. And yes, to a certain degree we were. But if this whole Israel thing with Epstein and the Mossad is like for real, then okay, let's go down that avenue because Netanyahu is a criminal. So we've got a criminal in office in Israel and a criminal in office in the United States. Both have been proven in courts of law to be criminals. And that kind of leads you into the thought of, okay, Netanyahu doesn't want to end the war because if he ends the war against the Palestinians, I don't know the right nomenclature, but anyhow, he's continuing the war against the Palestinians so he doesn't have to face the courts. So he's pulling this whole, we're at war, we can't have elections, or I can't go to court because we're at war. So I think Dumpy is thinking the same kind of concept so that we don't get to have our elections because he's going to start a war and we can't have elections. So, again, he's a skeezy MFer. But then on a positive note, doing my job here, I see a lot of driver's licenses and I see a lot of names on those driver's licenses, which is awesome. And I have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, if I see somebody from a different state and they got kind of a cool city name or a cool street name, I'll bring it up in conversation and, do yada yada kind of thing, just to have a human connection between me and this stranger that is renting a car. So yesterday, when I'm doing my normal gig and being nice and all of that stuff, I looked at this name on this driver's license, and sometimes I've seen names like Pfeiffer. You know what I mean? It's an unusual name, and they may be related to like Michelle Pfeiffer or something, which, okay, cool. I'm not going to sit there and get all ecstatic about it because you're just here renting a car trying to do your own thing. But yesterday, I came across a driver's license, and we're an international airport, so we get people from all over the world. So to me, that's kind of cool because I can look at the driver's licenses from like Australia or Germany. I like that. We have a lot of Africans from Africa that come here as well. Well, I got this gentleman's driver's license, and it was here in the States. It wasn't like it was from a different country. So I have to look at the name, because in order to look it up on my list, I need to know the name of the individual that I'm trying to look up in my system. It was Traore. I was so excited, and I almost couldn't figure out what Ibrahim's name was. Damn it, I got somebody coming, so I got to stop. So yeah, that was Rod. He, for my birthday, he gave me a whole pack of 48 cheese sticks. So now he's not giving me cheese sticks for the moment because he gave me a whole pack of cheese sticks. Anyhow, Traore. It was Traore. I was so excited, and because it was so out of left field, I had to go back in my computer brain cells to try and figure out, where do I know that name from? Where do I know that name from? And then I couldn't remember Ibrahim's first name, but eventually I got it, and I was like, are you related to Ibrahim Traore? And he's like, yes. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Can you please tell him I love him and that Africa deserves to be free? So that was so exciting for me. It made my day. Regardless as to everything else that goes on in this silly job, that made my day. I got to meet a family member of Ibrahim Traore, and I don't know if he can pass on the word to Ibrahim or not, but at least part of his family knows that I'm so excited for what Africa's going through right now so that they can be free, because we don't deserve the Africans and everything that they have done for the world. Their history is rich and in depth, and if people would just get a clue, but right now we're still under colonialism mentality. Anyway, so I've still been watching Candice Owens. She is deep. Oh my God, she is deep in her connections between, and I didn't even know this about Bill Barr and his daddy, and how his daddy had connections with Epstein. So you have Epstein, Bill Barr, Dumpy, of course, Dumpy. Then you have Israel in there, the Mossad. I mean, this shit is deep, very, very deep. So it kind of explains how the world is in this situation at this point. So people's religions about Israel is one thing, but this is bullshit. That was my boss, man. That's the hard part about working in this job, is my job will never transfer to any other place. I'm here. So I'm always going to be here, but this place is a training facility for people who want to continue on with their career in management. So if they want to get their own branch location and stuff, they have to come here and learn the airport, because if you can survive the airport, you can survive your own branch. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the manager that is above everybody here in the airport location, not where they take the cars to get cleaned and such, but at least here in the airport location, he's been one hell of a manager. And he's leaving next week. He applied for a higher position and he got it. So next week is his last week, which sucks because that means I have to get to know somebody else. And I can be a complicated person to get to know. So sometimes people instantly love me or they instantly hate me. And I'm fine with that either way. It's just that I have such a rapport with this manager that it saddens me, because it's highly unlikely that the next manager and I will have the same type of rapport. So, yeah. Anyway, it's all good. I don't know if I said it or not because I've been working on it so much. I am working on starting up my own eBay place to sell things because we have 5 dead people's worth of shit in our house and I want to get it out before I'm too old to get it out. You know what I mean? So, I counted my stepbrothers. I didn't do the baseball cards yet. I do know there's 40,000 of them, but I looked at them underneath a microscope, so I highly doubt there's anything that's going to get a high grade to sell for a biggest amount of money. But he also had comic books, and apparently it's like 236 or 38 comic books. So I logged them all. I put them in a bag, even though it wasn't the proper bag, because comic books, like baseball cards, have their own, there's a size differential that fits strictly comic books. So I went through and I bagged up a few of them, and I'm going to bag some more this weekend. I have to order more because I only ordered 100 for the boards and the bags. Anyway, now I think it's Rod coming back again. So yeah, he's leaving. I sorry, it was an actual customer. It wasn't an employee. So my mind went poof. Anyway, 236, 38 comic books. Some of those, there is value in some of those. I've been researching those just like I've been researching the baseball cards, both of which I never wanted to learn about because it wasn't my gig. You know what I mean? But now that I'm doing it, I'm saddened that I never discussed or bought baseball cards or comics for Justin, because that was his thing and he likes that, and I should have done that while he was still alive instead of kind of liking it as I'm going through it now that he's dead. You know what I mean? It's my bad. Totally my bad. But I can also understand it because if I were to do something for my mom, her belief system is totally different than mine. To try and do something before she passes on, like, I failed to do with Justin. So it's harder for me to go down that rabbit hole with her. I don't believe in what she believes. No, not when you can vote for Trump and still say you're a Christian. Nope, there's a contradiction in terms right there. So nope. Anyway, keep the Epstein file conversation alive because I do believe it is deeper than what everything is or that's been put out there so far. So anyway, for now, that's enough. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace out for now. Oh, and this is going to all turn into a vlog so that when I do the eBay stuff, that's strictly for eBay and not for my opinion, my thoughts, my whatevers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, peace out, y'all. Take care of yourselves because that's all we got.